Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Cherrie-Ann. On this channel we talk about fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. So several videos ago I mentioned that I ran my first half marathon. So I ran 13.1 miles in the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. That was in November 2021, and I promised you at the time that I would let you know how I did after the second half marathon. So stay tuned for the end of the video and you'll find out how I did compared to the first half marathon. But I wanted to just talk about my experience, just let you know how it went. I think in my first video, I'm actually gonna look down at some notes. In my first video, I gave one of the first videos I talked about training. In the first video that I talked about with the Rock and Roll Half Marathon, I did talk about just like my experience. In this video, I'm gonna talk about my experience again, just give you some more tips, just let you know how it went. That marathon was in November. I would say the weather was a little bit better. This half marathon was in March, so it was March 2022. I think it was March 26, 2022, and it was a bit colder. Actually, it felt like a lot colder. So I was dressed not as cute, but of course the point of it is to run, right? Not necessarily to be cute. So I would say because I had ran the marathon before, I didn't necessarily have to know what the terrain was, but I would say if it's your first time running a race, regardless of the distance, one of the important tips that I'd want to share is know what the terrain is. Is it hilly? Is it flat? Is it a combination? Because I think it's helpful to train in those conditions. If you ran marathons or half marathons or races, let's just call them races. If you ran races in the spring, but now it's the summer, and you didn't train in like summer conditions or fall or winter, then you'll find that you probably aren't doing as good as you would think. So basically, other than the tips that I left before in terms of train, etc., check out that video. Know the terrain and know the conditions. And so if you're running in the spring, then try to train a little bit in spring-like weather. If you're running in the winter, train in winter-like weather. And obviously what you wear, more so your clothing, will likely need to be different, right, from season to season. Unless you're like in the Caribbean, in the islands, where it's all basically one season. And I think another tip that I left before was know the rules. So I think this half marathon said, the rules probably said that they weren't going to, or maybe they did say, but anyway, I had a friend who was going to pick up the bib, my bib and another friend's bib, so I didn't necessarily have to worry about this, but know the rules before. There's some half marathons that say they're not going to give you any bibs on the day of. They're not going to issue bibs on the day of. So know what the rules are. If your half marathon or your race or of whatever distance, if you could get the bib on the day of, then obviously maybe that's more convenient. But if you can't, then make arrangements for yourself to go or for somebody to go for you. If somebody goes for you, sometimes there are rules or limits on as to how many people could go. The person likely would need your ID and they may need some additional information from you. One of the things I did with this half marathon that I didn't do with the first one is I don't believe in the first one that I jogged or basically warmed up my muscles the day before. This time I did. So I did a short run, I think like 3 miles or 3-point-something miles the day before, and I was careful to drink a whole bunch of water. I could tell that I was drinking a whole lot of water, which is good, right? You want to make sure that your body's well hydrated. So the other thing, of course, is set aside clothes, know what you're going to wear, know what the weather is so you can know how to dress appropriately. And there was bag check. You'll see lots of pictures that I'm going to be inserting after that has some of this. You're going to see some other cool signs. You're going to hear some cool music. The signs and the music were definitely encouraging, inspiring. They definitely pushed when I felt at times tired. I would hear a group of people cheering. That definitely helped to encourage me along. Even though, of course, I ran this because I wanted to, unlike the first one where I was doing it as a favor. This one, after the first one, I signed up, and so I was just like, in the height of it, yeah, no, I don't regret doing it. But at the height of it, right after, maybe a day or so after the first one, I signed up for the second one. So I would say I didn't train as much as I should have, but folks encouraging, the signs, the chairs, the cheering squads, they were there. Some people were there for specific individuals. Some people were there because they live in the area maybe, and they just wanted to be out in their neighborhood and cheer people along. So that was fun. So you're gonna see some cool signs. You're gonna see some cool music. You're gonna see some cool pictures after. Again, I would say go at your own pace. You're not necessarily, unless you're trying to compete, unless you're necessarily trying to come in first, second, or third, then just go at your pace. You're doing this because you want to do it ultimately, and I think it's an accomplishment to just do it. After the run, I think it's important to stretch. I don't believe I stretched as much this time after. Well, I didn't stretch right after, but I did stretch when I came home. So I stretched. Take pictures. You'll see lots of pictures. Of course, I'm a picture girl, so you'll see lots of pictures. Bask in the excitement when it's all over. Bask in the excitement of having accomplished something really that I would say is a big deal. Throughout the race, make sure that you're hydrating. Because I drank so much the day before, and I didn't want to have to stop to slow down to go to the bathroom. There are outhouses or porta potties along the race route. I didn't stop to drink any Gatorade, and I didn't drink any water. I think I would have been well served to do so. So even if you stop at a stop and drink like a little sip, not a whole gulp, but just something to hydrate yourself a little bit, I think that is important. So that was a mistake I made about not hydrating. And again, you set your mind to it. If you believe that you could do it, you can. Let me see. Yep. So that was the tips I wanted to leave in terms of running outside, or in terms of running the second half marathon. I'm just looking here. I saw one of the things that often happens to me is whenever I run, my nose also runs. So just know what you need to make it a good experience for you. For me, I made sure to bring lots of napkins so that I could blow my nose, so that it was pleasant, because otherwise I don't think it would be as pleasant. So look at the pictures, listen to the music. Just I think for me, when I am running or doing something that is new to me, I always try to go to YouTube or go online to look to see tips and just how it was for people. So I wanted to leave these to just give you a download as to how my race went. I'll actually tell you my time in a second when I come back online, but check out these next pictures. So 20 seconds away from the first group starting.
Healthy times down, Washington, D.C. Our elites are taking the field in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
They're starting! All right, so we are here at the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. This is the one who got me to run the first half marathon last November. And Marilyn ran her first one last year.
Yes!
So we're doing this again.
Congratulations! Thanks for being brave enough to be here, even if it was your first time and you didn't really...
This stuff is good, but it's
Rachel Roost. No, I was thinking Roost, like runner's Roost. I was going to try to make that funny somehow. But I couldn't, so...
It's not cheesecake.
We'll just say Rachel. Mary, Christina, Rachel. Who's going to win?
But it works, I guess.
Rachel, 20, don't worry. We're gonna load you up. You're gonna get out there on time. Just wanted to make it a little easier. Lots of colors going down the field.
Okay, I'm not gonna be obviously recording the whole thing, but I just started.
Come on, girl! Yeah! Come on, Claire! Go get it!
This is that infamous hill. I think this is the probably steepest hill on this half marathon. So I'm gonna try to take it slow and jog the whole way up. But yeah.
Stay strong. Stay
Thank
motivated.
you. Thank you. We
Keep
need
it up.
this. Thank you.
Thank you. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. This is me at the top of the hill. Oh, almost. Yeah. It was no joke. But I did it. I jogged the whole way up. Slowly, but I did it.
Good work, runners! I believe in you!
You got this! Woo!
I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Guys, I'm almost at 13, so almost at 13.1. Listen, I never thought I could run this once, much less twice. But mind over matter. I did it. If you want to do it, you can do it too. Let's go. All right, so here I have, I hope you enjoyed the pictures, hope you enjoyed the B-roll. So here I have my medal for my second half marathon that I did. And actually, I didn't tell you, but this is my cool shirt. So with all of these races, you usually get some kind of swag. In this one, this was a shirt, and you'll notice if you live in the DMV, or if you're just familiar with the DMV area, it was like the cherry blossoms. So that was kind of cute, a little bit different to the shirt before. And this is the medal that I got at the end. You can see right there. And drum roll, I got it engraved as well. Drum roll. So I finished in 2 hours, 56 minutes, 39 seconds. So that is actually about a minute slower, about maybe a minute, I think about a minute slower than the first half marathon that I did. I actually have the medal here for the first half marathon that I did, and I still have my bib as well. I'm actually going to display them at some point. But the first half marathon I did in 2 hours, 55 minutes, 44 seconds. So this is almost 1 minute slower. And why is that? I think I stopped to take lots more pictures. I knew I was going to do YouTube now, right? The first half marathon, I didn't know that I was going to do YouTube. When I ran the second half marathon just a couple months ago in March, of course, I had launched a YouTube channel by then. I wanted to make sure to get good pictures and video, etc. for you. So I think I slowed down a little bit more to make sure I captured good footage. But I also didn't train as much. So for the half marathon, of course, it being my first, I think I was super geeked, and so more adrenaline was rushing through. But I did not train as much for the second half marathon. I did a couple trips, ate, if you know me, I love to eat. I ate, let's just say I definitely carb loaded long before my half marathon. But anyway, I still think I did pretty okay. A minute slower. So as I do these more and more, I hope to eventually be seeing a trajectory downward in terms of getting through faster and faster. So if you have run any half marathons or races or even full marathons, let me know your experience. If this is something that you think you want to do, let me know your experience as well. It was definitely, I was happy to be finished. You saw some of the video that I inserted that at times I really had to mentally talk myself. I had to really pep myself up because it was a lot. It felt like a lot. And it is a lot. I'm not trying to make it into some big deal, but I mean, it's not a walk in the park either. You definitely need to train for it. You definitely need to condition yourself, not only physically, but also I would say mentally for it. But you could of course do it if this is something that you want to do, then just train. I think before I run my next half marathon, I'm gonna use a different app. Before I use the first half marathon, I used the 13.1 app. The second half marathon, the one that I'm talking about now, I didn't really train, if you will. I mean, I ran or jogged a little bit here and there. I try to go to the gym pretty regularly, but I didn't really do a whole lot to increase my rate, etc. So I'm gonna try to do that before I run my 4th half marathon. And you heard me say 4th because one of the next upcoming videos, I'm gonna talk about another half marathon that I did, but stay tuned for that. So that's all I wanted to share with you. Again, my cool medal and shirt. If this is something that you're interested in doing, let me know. If you've run before, let me know. Any tips that you could leave, I'm sure we will all appreciate it. Leave that in the comment section below. Again, thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. I know you thought I'd be talking only about fashion, and honestly, my plan was to talk mostly about fashion, which I think I still am doing, but I also mentioned in the first half marathon video that I would tell you how I did in the second one, so I wanted to make sure to honor that commitment. So hope you enjoy, and thank you again. Bye.